Good morning and welcome to Recovering from Scientology. I am glad to be back after a short hiatus. I'm excited to tell y'all what I have been up to because it's been a lot. And it looks like I haven't done a joint stream with my friend Danny since October. So there's a lot to catch up on. And I thank you for joining me this morning. I hope that everything is working correctly. And if it isn't, I'm sure somebody will let me know. So first things first, I rebranded my channel. I feel that this one represents the name Recovering from Scientology, represents the path that I've been on and working on for so long now. I personally am recovering from Scientology. I think a lot of people are recovering from Scientology, maybe even more people than are in Scientology right now. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a process and something that I think should be recorded. And so for me, it's important not only to reach out to you, and you might be going through the same thing, but also to record it for the sake of history's purpose. And I just think that this kind of stuff is important. And people are losing their families, they're losing their religions, literally, they're losing their friends, they're experiencing all sorts of chaotic things due to a religion. And again, I just think it should be documented because this is wild that it's going on in 2025. And another thing, I actually have merch. So I am drinking my coffee from my Recovering from Scientology mug, which you can get and support me. If you like the channel and you want to support, I also have some other really cool stuff I ordered. I got a couple stickers that you can put on wherever. And then I got this really sick notebook. And it's me protesting out there on L. Ron Hubbard Way. That was on Father's Day of this year. And that was such a crazy experience. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Thank you so much to Audit LA for organizing and setting up that event. It was not what I expected, but it was awesome. And I don't know what I expected. I've only been to one protest, and that was at the Celebrity Center. This time it was just there were a lot of people there. There was food, which I was actually too afraid to eat because I didn't want to be poisoned, not by the protesters, but we were literally on L. Ron Hubbard Way with Scientologists walking by and interesting, strange people coming up trying to talk to us. So I was not going to eat the food. And to me, Audit LA, she's such an awesome person for doing this and for going to the city halls and the town meetings for us and on behalf of the citizens of Los Angeles so that she can make her voice known and stick up for the victims of Scientology. So it was really cool. It was really nice to be there. I made a sign. Hello, people in the chat. Thank you for joining me today. Before I put this sign away, I wanted to just show it off so that I could just show you guys and then put it away because it's been sitting out for a while. And I thought it was a really good sign and I was really proud of it. And nobody took a photo. So here's side one. Disconnection equals control. Call your loved ones today. And then side two, it's a picture of me and my dad. And it says, ask me how Scientology ruined my family. I thought that was clever. So I miss my pops, and that is for real. I miss my mom and my dad a lot. It's been 8 years, and it just feels like if I really did give up so much to be able to speak my truth, and I couldn't just be quiet about how Scientology didn't make sense to me. So I lost my family because of it. And now I don't want to sit in silence with my thoughts all by myself after being excommunicated. It feels natural that I would actually be speaking more and speak up, since that's what created this entire situation. Um, those who have been through disconnection understand that it's really hard to grieve somebody who's still alive, and living with the knowledge that I might get a call any day that either of my parents have passed away. It's numbing. It's why I have PTSD. I have CPTSD. I've been diagnosed, and it's something I've been working through and working on making sure I know how to help others through it, because it's not a joke. And the things that they're doing in that organization are causing mental health problems in society. It's a societal problem. It's breaking apart families. So the more attention we can bring to the child tearing apart from their parents and family activities that are currently still going on, um, you know, that would be ideal. That would really, really be ideal. Um, to address some other things, we've been going through such an interesting period in this ex-Scientology community movement that I just have decided to kind of stay out of it. I have my opinions and I follow things, and anybody who wants to know them, feel free to ask me. But it has been a wild, wild place out here for former Scientologists or people supporting us. And I just want to politely remind you all that there is the Office of Special Affairs, who is funded very well and is staffed and manned very well. And they don't stop until they get the product that they want. So all of the drama in the water, I know it's so easy to get caught up in, and it's actually really entertaining, which is bizarre that it's turned into entertainment, like former Scientologists and their drama. But I assure you, it is very real drama, because a lot of people are trying to just heal from their past. And the fact that we can all even have a conversation sometimes, to me, is incredible, because we are all from very different backgrounds, very different experiences. So there's lots of, I don't know, factions of this movement at this point. There's the former Scientologists, who are kind of the old guard. There's the independent Scientologists, who are still practicing Scientology but don't believe in the Church of Scientology, but they still follow the teachings of the man. Then there's anybody who would consider themselves an SPTV. That's how I originally launched myself, is when everybody had come out and was making YouTube channels, and it was actually really fun. And now there's entire Reddit boards just talking trash about the entire everybody who had ever had that logo. So it's kind of wild how far we've come. There's also the protesters. In every different city, there's a different protest movement, which is absolutely incredible. I never thought that this would have happened. in my lifetime, where you could actually just go to a city, get on TikTok and see who's actively protesting Scientology in your community and go join. I think that's sick. And it is complicated. Yeah, Hans, absolutely. Um, it's complicated, but we each have our own voice and we can each use it how we like to. We all can have a platform. Nobody's stopping anybody from making a YouTube, which is absolutely correct. So all we have to do is get up the nerve to do it, and then we can make content that we're hopefully proud of. I would love support from the community. That was the original reason I started a YouTube, was so that I could actually meet new people and find a community of like-minded individuals. I'm an animal lover, and I had a very large group of friends in Los Angeles who did animal rescue, and I've left that area now. And so it's part of being an adult. You find the different types of people who have your interests and all that. And so I'm interested in anybody who wants to talk about Scientology, because most people don't. And it's not something that I even talk about with my closest friends for the most part. It's not a fun topic to talk about, but if you're already naturally interested and you're following YouTube channels about Scientology, like, hit me up, because this is a really cool way to introduce ourselves to the world and get out of the sheltering that we've had for so long. Now, what I'm doing right now is I'm in grad school. Whoa. So I started when I was 28 at a Los Angeles City College, local community college, and I just took a psych course because I noticed that actually I took a stress management course and I took a psych course, and I wanted to learn what was going on inside of my head and taking apart all of these Scientology beliefs, because I thought that I had done that and I really, really hadn't. There was a lot of things I hadn't considered. And then I also took a stress management course, because what I noticed is that a lot of my friends were developing autoimmune disorders, and they seemed to be stress related. And I wanted to understand the relationship between stress and illness. And so I continued on from Los Angeles City College. I just loved my psych classes. From there, I transferred to California State University of Long Beach. I graduated there with my bachelor's in psychology, and then started at Boise State University last year in a master's of social work program. And I just learned pretty quickly in my journey that for me, I wanted to have credentials after coming from a place that you just kind of made up your credentials, or the church was making up the credentials for you. I wanted to come from being able to help people based on scientific studies or supported evidence. I wanted to be able to help people knowing that it was sanctioned, like, yeah, you can become a life coach or you can do a lot of things without a degree. That's without a doubt. But for someone, I felt that for me, I only wanted to see people who had actually done quite a bit of education after leaving the cult. So why can't I give that gift to my potential clients, and be as informed as possible? So it has been such an incredible way to go through my mind and pick out the leftover L. Ron Hubbard beliefs that were just stuck in there. By every chapter is a different topic, and we're writing papers, and I'm processing things. So over the past 8 years in college, I've just been highlighting things and circling things, and I got to talk about this with people, and I got to talk about that with people. And so I thought, YouTube, like, it's the perfect venue to be able to discuss where I think L. Ron Hubbard stole so many of these ideas from, and where I think he perverted them to make them worse than they ever should have been so that he could have extreme control over us. Um, and anybody who's interested in that, let me know. I need the support. So I appreciate everybody in the comments. Deanna, so nice to see you here. Lupita, hi. Yolanda, everybody who has been here, Hans, people who have been here from the beginning who are still supporting me are shocking me because I came out about 2 years ago and decided to speak up, maybe a little bit longer now, but I went through a lot after choosing to speak up. And I was harassed. And there were a lot of situations in my life that I just didn't expect. Even though I know how bad they are, I just did not expect. So this time around, I'm still trying to remain open because I can't shut everybody out, you know? But I have my boundaries. I know what I'm going to speak about and what I'm not going to speak about. But I really do need that support from you guys because nobody else is. I mean, my dogs aren't sitting here encouraging me. They don't mind when I do my YouTube, but nobody is in real life like, hey, you should go talk about Scientology. Like, it's not a fun topic to talk about. And sometimes our personal stories come into it and it gets rough. And I'm an emotional person. Maybe it'll help me process some of those things that I have never wanted to feel. Thank you, Kathy. That's such a nice comment. Healing with knowledge and a heart to help others is awesome, but please give yourself grace also because you matter. And I'm trying to remember that. It's not easy when you come from Scientology because there's a lot of beliefs that they instill in us that if you ever leave, you are just garbage, you know? And so I wonder how much of my subconscious is guiding that ship a lot of the time because I don't feel good a lot of the time. And I don't know if it's the way that I'm talking to myself because I try to be nice to myself, but I don't know if a lot of different former cult members feel this way, not just Scientology, but maybe even all religions. Um, there's guilt, there's shame, there's you messed up, nobody's proud of you. I mean, I definitely walk through life feeling like my parents are not proud of me. And it's it's shocking because there's so many people whose parents stick by their side. And I think really speaks to the magnitude of how powerful this thing is and how all encompassing it is, and that the people inside are actually victims. And they're not just choosing to be there, they're victims. So the people who can't walk away because they don't want to lose their family, the people who can't want to walk away because they don't want their biggest secret to get out, or the people who don't walk away because all of their business ties are connected to it and have been for the last 40 years. Like, these people are still there and hopefully watching this YouTube channel because it does get easier when you get out. And there is a whole bunch of people who are willing to help. And maybe recently OSA has made it seem like there aren't, or that this area is like muddied or dirty, or you just don't know who to trust. But guess what? There are people out here who you can trust. And there are a lot of people who want to see you do well. So if there's anything that we can do to help, let us know. It's a lot of, a voice down under. It's common in cults, but it appears to be much stronger inside Scientology. Yeah, I think the Catholic guilt, they always talk about that. I had to just realize that that's what it was, feeling shame and guilt. Like, my parents wanted me to be a good Scientologist. I am not. I'm the opposite. I am doing something to currently, as we speak, hurt what their idea would be of the best religion in the world, in their opinion. Which brings me to my next reason for speaking up. And my family has always known this, and it's because of the deaths. It's the deaths that I have known about over the years and seen covered to not be death by suicides, not be because they were depressed, not be because maybe they needed actual drug treatment or actual therapy or actual help to some degree. The amount of people who I've known who grew up like me, who have ended it because of the pure suffering, is astronomical. And it's not a workable system. It makes the entire world seem so small, and you cannot see out of it. You cannot see that there's just other things you could try. And it really makes ending things seem like the best option, because you could just go drop your body and pick up another one. That's what they tell you. You could start all over again. So as somebody who has suffered with depression for most of my life at this point, I can vouch for how horrible the treatment is when you vocalize that you have depression. And I wanted to dedicate this episode to my good friend, Paris Arthur Bosserman. He was a wonderful person who died recently and was a member of the church. And those that knew him, it's so hard to describe. Sometimes our friends in Scientology are so dynamic. And it's almost like because they've had to be to figure out how to live in this world. And Arthur was that. He was so dynamic. And he loved to sail. And he played in a band. He played in a band called Love Hate Hero. And they used to tour. And he is just going to be remembered. And there's not going to be too many people who I've known who will pass away who I will not speak about. I will speak about them because they deserve it. And they were good people who just did not get the mental health care that they needed. Thank you guys so much in the chat. You're so sweet. And incidentally, today is Sea Org Day. How about that? Well, happy Sea Org Day. I actually hope that the Sea Org members are able to enjoy their day today. And I know that sometimes they do get to do fun things like go to Disneyland or, I don't know, get the day off for once. So I really do hope that all the people who are in there in the Sea Org who really think that they're doing the right thing and they're suffering so that we don't have to, I hope you guys do have a fun day today. And I hope that if we can help you in any way that you do reach out. Because the world is not filled with SPs. Yes, there are some, but they are not who you think they are. And people can be evil, but people can be great too. So by hiding from all the evil people, you're not letting yourself see the beauty of the world. And I think that that's extremely dangerous. Another thing, disconnection sucks. And those of you who have experienced it, I just want to say it wasn't your fault. And I'm trying to tell myself that over and over again, but it's true. And it wasn't your fault. So having the experience that we have sometimes afterwards, especially when you've lost your parents, there's a lot of people speaking out who have not lost family members. And I'm trying to balance it by being an active voice of people who have lost direct family members and decided that I was still going to leave. Um, a lot of days I want to come on YouTube or do a check-in or talk with people, and I'm just too depressed, to be honest, that I have this thing in Scientology inside of me still where you have to set a good example. It's part of what they call the way to happiness. So it's almost like if I get up here and I'm emotional or not in a good mood, then that would be not setting a good example. And that's something I'm really trying to let go of, because it's okay to have emotion and it's okay to um, not be happy all the time either. Maybe it's not best for the YouTube numbers, but it's okay. It's okay to come on and just be honest. And that's one thing that I can't help. I'm very honest and real. And that's why Scientology did not work for me, um, because there's a lot of bull in it. And you have to be willing to go along with that. You know? And yes, a voice down under says, I regularly take the list to protests. They deserve to be remembered. So, so, so true. Thank you for doing that. Um, there's the Why We Protest list as well. If anyone just wants to Google Why We Protest Scientology, there's just the longest list of people who have passed. And the fact that nobody's done anything about it, there hasn't been any kind of investigation or any kind of statistical comparison or anything that an outside source has just independently looked at of, does this religion literally cause mental illness and or depression and anxiety and feelings of helplessness and hopelessness? Because I think that if they were actually able to do that, the data would be incredible. But Scientologists are always going to lie on those surveys. So, thank you, Deanna. I really appreciate everybody who can see between the drama too. Like, I really feel that you cannot, because now it's happened to me and it was hard to believe before it had, but you really can't believe everything that you hear, you read, or you see because on YouTube that they're saying. You just don't know who is OSA and who has been brought into the environment to create chaos. And maybe people are just normal people who create chaos anyway. That's fine. But there's an extra level for us who are speaking out. And it's not like any of us went to YouTube classes or classes on how to publicly share your experiences. But thanks to the city of Los Angeles, I did get some public speaking courses. And it's not as hard as it used to be for me. So sharing with you guys is fun when I can manage it. Also, not to just change the topic abruptly, but did everybody see that apostate Alex shaved his head? Alexa, turn the music off. It must be 9 a.m. Every morning I wake up to the song Good Morning from my Alexa. Yeah, so apostate Alex shaved his head. I haven't seen a good photo yet, but I'm excited to go see that. I saw he had posted on Instagram this morning. I guess at some point you got to just go for it, and just own it. So what else is going on? Kathy says, it will come. Scientology has many tentacles, but they're slowly being cut on many grounds. The lawyers need y'all's stories. Please tell them for the record. So right. And so a part of why I have a YouTube channel is for the record. It's I'm a different person than when I was 8 years ago when my parents disconnected from me, and I have been changing so rapidly ever since. Um, you can see different examples of people who have left Scientology. Their personalities have a lot to do with it, but their molding also has a lot to do with it. And you can see the difference with newer out people, people who have been out for 20 years, people who have educated themselves, people who haven't, people who go to therapy, people who don't. It's a really interesting process. And because I have been so incredibly persistent about healing and started in therapy right when I started disconnecting, or they started disconnecting from me, and I have gone ever since and been in a class ever since, pretty much. um, I've been able to just process a lot of it, and I'm still so far away from being done dealing with it. It's complex trauma, and it's something that is lifelong for a lot of us. But that being said, the documentation of it, I think, is fascinating. And I had wished that I had had enough. 8 years ago, Scientology was not the topic that it is today. And I was way too scared that OSA was going to go after just me at the time for speaking up. So I let it go. But I have changed so much. And I do think that documenting this process and discussing the things that come up can actually be really helpful to other people who are going through it, because it's such a particular process. CPTSD does suck. It really sucks. And I've been working on a workbook lately to try to help me conquer that. And it's just something to do. It's just an activity to do to try to work at it. And some of it's really deep, and it's just hard to access. So being in environments that are loving and caring has been so good for me in this process. Being around supportive people who are just have it in their heart to care about us former Scientologists. Like, I don't know where you guys came from, but you're angels. And Scientology is not stoked about you, which is an awesome thing. There are plenty of people supporting all sorts of creators on YouTube who are speaking about Scientology, and it's really cool. I think there's so many characters at this point that you can have your favorite, and you can tune in and you can think that, oh, I like, the way Mark and Claire do their show, or I like how Nora's doing it, or I like the rawness of whoever else has their channels, like, it's actually really cool that we get to choose from it. It's just really hard to see that there's some sort of weird genre there of like drama where there are people now watching who are just watching for the drama, which is so interesting and amusing. But I get it. It is entertaining because Scientologists can really be a trip. So, one thing I want to do a lot of talking about, if you guys would like, and you can definitely participate by telling me in the chat or in the comments if you have any condition, but I'm interested in how many people who are interested in this topic are also suffering from chronic illness or nervous system disorders, PTSD or CPTSD, and how long you've had it. I'm going to do a show possibly tomorrow and discuss something that's been going on in my life for the last few years that is very challenging to me health-wise. I think if we can't acknowledge that this is bad on people's health, like, it's literally making so many people I know ill. There has been so many women I know who have actually stepped away from Scientology quietly and then developed lupus, autoimmune, Lyme disease, different types of nervous system diseases. And it is from the stress. There's no doubt about it. So having these experiences and documenting them and sharing, it's just nice to build that community because, oh, you've had CPTSD for 15 years, a voice down under. I'm so sorry about that. But I do think it is better that we know about it and we can name it, because then I feel like I can actually do something about it and I can actually treat it and recover from it. And what does recovery mean to me? Recovery is the rekindling of hopes and dreams. So for me, I would love to rekindle my own hopes and dreams before all of this nonsense went down and before life changed so dramatically, because I don't know if the gravity of the situation comes across always when people leave Scientology, that they truly are leaving everything and everyone that they've ever known. And when you see people pop up with a YouTube, I always try to be supportive, no matter who they are or what they're doing, if I can, because I know how hard it is from what they're coming from and what they're dealing with. And all of our circumstances are different, but there's a lot of circumstances when leaving Scientology that are the same. And to just have a strong mind and will be the reason why you can't talk to your friends and family is tragic. And there are people who have left Scientology. I've been fascinated watching Reese's channel because has said that she would be there if she could. Like, somebody outed her and she actually got kicked out, but that she would still be there if she could. And I just find that such a fascinating place to be as someone on the outside of the religion now who understands how deeply damaging it is in so many aspects, from how you bring up your child to how you communicate with people every day, to how you deal with your health. And everybody had their own experience, and from what I hear, there's been crazy things that had happened to her. Like, she even had a fax machine thrown at her. So having she would go back, like I would go back if I could. That's just so strongly speaking to how manipulative the organization is and how they've really created their own bubble of a world that we all operated in, and that not a lot of people want to leave, unfortunately. It's just how it is. And thank you so much to my sweet, sweet chat who is in here. And if anybody wants to be a mod, hit me up. I could definitely use some help with that. I'm not always going to be able to look at the chat. And since there are so many trolls, it would be really helpful to have some really nice moderators in here while I do my recording of the Scientology damage. Kathy says, I I almost was sucked into another cult, the JWs. After about 2 years, they told me I had to disconnect from my brother and nephew because they're gay. I said nope and never looked back. Yeah. Whew, that's a real one. Scientology has now changed their stance on being gay, which is fascinating because you can't really change anything in Scientology policy. But I've been told by people who have been pulled into the president's office of Celebrity Center, which is where they deal with the VIPs, that they were told that the references were wrong. They found errors. L. Ron Hubbard never meant that. And it's totally fine if you're not heterosexual. And it's kind of like a rude slap in the face of lies because that's not true. There's absolutely no way that L. Ron Hubbard thought that it was okay to be gay. There's absolutely no way because he made reference to it numerous times, saying that, essentially you're aberrated. There's something wrong with you that Scientology can fix. And I grew up with quite a few children who found themselves in a really bad situation because of their sexual preference and having to lie about it for so long, just like with the Mormons or LDS or the other groups. It's truly sad. They have those lavender marriages in those groups, which I wonder if anybody in Scientology is actively participating in a lavender marriage, where they're both gay and then they get married so that it looks like a traditional marriage. It's just wild. Why would you do that in your life? Like, why would you let some entity control you? But I do understand because I've seen it so many times, and it must be such a thing of shame, just like how I feel it's a thing of shame for me to have wanted to leave Scientology. We can't help it, you know? And if there could just be any understanding at all, that would be really great. Oh, wow. She said, do you normally come on at this time? It's past midnight here and I should be asleep, but I'm happy to mod if you come on earlier sometimes. Well, it's actually pretty early here. It's 9 a.m., 9:13 a.m. And for whatever reason, I just decided to do a morning podcast or episode because my brain is a lot fresher sometimes in the mornings. And I didn't want to drab on and on. And I know that sometimes that's also a strategy. And it kind of sucks to have to think about what's best for YouTube. I can check and see when most of my viewers are watching YouTube, and then do it then. Or if you guys are following certain videos or topics, then I can try to make my channel more like that so it gets in the algorithm. And honestly, it's frustrating kind of having to play the YouTube marketing game when truly I just want to make sure that the abuses of Scientology gets out. But the way that we're going to get the videos seen is by me talking about things that are of interest to people. And that's what I'm going to have to do sometimes. So it's a fine line between getting involved in the drama or talking about, clickbait. Like, I've heard complaints from a lot of people on YouTube do that, just clickbait, and just not like that. I'm just, ugh. If I'm going to make a video, I'd rather make it something basic and have you guys click on it, and maybe there won't be as many views, but that the people who are watching it are truly digesting it. For me, that's more powerful. And it's powerful that I have people here that I'm able to talk to. I mean, how incredible, and half of you are probably OSA. That's okay. It's still helping us out in the X community. And that really is the coolest part of all of this, is that Scientology, with their tactics, actually boost all of our channels. and get our channels out into the public because they're checking to see what we say. And it's cool. It's actually, we're very lucky. So thank you. Thank you for harassing us, stalking us, and trolling us all of the time. I really appreciate that. Another thing is that apparently this clown who showed up on the scene about 2 years ago and just decided to make merchandise with my photo on it, sexual merch, and sell it, and just talk trash about me nonstop, make up lies, call me a slut, call me a hooker, have his people call my work, all of this. This person apparently will be doing some jail time, it seems, and they're going to trial on, what was it I saw earlier, 53 days. So that's a cool countdown. Everybody, oh, yay, I got a member. Thank you, Susan. I do have memberships, you guys, so that's another way you can support. I really appreciate it because I am in school right now. I'm working my buns off, and it is really to be able to help in my community and work as a social worker in California and do the best that I can with the tools that I've been given. So I really appreciate any support because I got dogs, I got myself, there's a lot going on out here, and not having any family is terrifying sometimes, and there's no safety net. So being able to come and support myself just through sharing would be incredible, or at least help pay for some of the expenses that are occurred from doing this. And Lupita, I am in school right now for my master's degree. I will be graduating in spring 2027. And I cannot wait. It has been the longest path, the longest journey, especially since I dropped out I took my GED at 15 and I started working for Scientology companies. So I didn't think that college was ever going to be in my future. And I'm just so glad that something switched and I was actually able to see the value of education. Yeah. What membership? Must go on my computer and join. Yes, you can buy channel memberships. That's what you can do. So please join up, buy a channel membership. Kathy says, I'll be your grandma. Thank you so much, Kathy. I need it. I need those sweet moments. I actually was able to, thank you guys. I really appreciate you hyping me up in the comments. That's really helping. I was actually able to spend some time with extended family last week, and it made me feel like a human again, to be able to feel cared for. And like I could just relax and not be on, and that there would be somebody who I trusted to, I don't know, wake me up from the nap or bring me a cup of coffee. It was so sweet. And just to be coddled by a loving person, it was just so nice and something I hadn't felt in so long. And I'm used to being a caregiver for the most part, and it was just lovely to feel that. So reaching out to extended family was definitely cool, and I'm going to keep in touch with the two of them. Everybody else, they're done. I really don't have any other family. So creating a community for myself on here is actually really important. And other people have been able to do it. So I'm going to give it my best go, and we'll see how it goes, Yeah, true. Blood makes you relatives. Love makes you family. There's a difference. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that I should probably pick a time and come on at like a regularly scheduled time and just do a check-in, and also do some of the topics that I had in mind. I actually have this really sick full bookshelf behind me with all of these former Scientologist books or my old course packs, or not course packs, that's so Scientology of me, my old books from classes. And I'm just excited to kind of pull from them and read certain portions. Oh, yay, I got another membership. Thank you so much, A Voice from Down Under. I really appreciate that. See, all you got to do is just show up, hit go live, and go, 53 days TikTok. That's how I'm feeling too. Thank you, Deanna. That really was such an experience to have this person be making videos of me with thousands of views. Like, people don't even know who I am. And this man was just making up lie after lie in the community about me and spreading it. And it was just such a weird time to speak out and then have that happen right away. But you know what? Scientology is really crafty. And if you've noticed, this guy has only gone after people speaking up about Scientology, protesters or whatever. So it's pretty obvious at this point. It's always funny to like prove it and then reprove it, who this person works for. Also just wanted to mention that the last video I did, which I got a lot of you subscribers from, which is thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. The last video I did, I was discussing a past relationship that I had had, as well as just kind of like what was going on in the community. And after that, I immediately, for the next week, was tailed and followed by whoever. I mean, I don't know if they're private investigators or just staff members, but I would walk out from my workplace and there would be a camera on me. And it was absolutely off-putting. And at first I was like, oh, this is scary. And then I was like, no, I've been through this and I know what they're trying to do and they're trying to intimidate me. And it gets tiring looking behind you. And so I just stopped. I don't care. So I did stop making videos. I guess that worked in a way, but I'm not going to let it work this time. And exactly, Scientology doesn't know how to handle all of y'all speaking the truth on YouTube. I agree. I don't think that they do. And I think that their resources are spread thinner than ever. So it is the time to speak up if you have a story you want to share. And I convinced a lot of people to come on YouTube because I thought it was a good idea. And now I'm still sticking with it because I do think that it's been so cool to actually make the community. That's the thing. But man, it's also a gamble putting your life out there and your private details and all that. Like, you can be stalked, harassed, all that. But if we don't give them the power, then that's that. Like, I don't care anymore. They can rent the house across the street from me again. I don't care. Like, I actually think they have a special fund that they draw funds from. It's the CCHR fund because I am a quote unquote psych now. I'm like about to be a therapist and gonna be, doing things in the future that I'm training for. They just want to destroy me. They just have that extra money to take me down. So I'm still here. I'm going to keep speaking. And when you guys show up and support, it's just like a big FU to Scientology. So we can just keep saying that to Scientology as much as we want, And thank you to my members, anybody who can afford an extra couple bucks a month, like, appreciate it. And it'll keep me wanting to do this. There are expenses like StreamYard. Like, for instance, you see I have the logo on my StreamYard because I haven't paid for it. Did you know that this is like an $800 a year or more service? This is wild. the thing is that there are a lot of YouTubers who are killing it, like killing it. And they're killing it through commercials and ads. And so I want my channel to hopefully be viewed enough. Hopefully I can have enough interesting and engaging topics to where the ad play is the main contributing factor to what can cover these fees and stuff. Hi, puppies. Yes, you are a threat to them, so stay strong. Exactly. Thank you. Seems as though my dog is starting to get ready to go potty. Wants me to pay some attention to her, so I'm probably going to wrap this up. But do you guys like my new setup? I moved from the office out here, and I have a beautiful background of all my plants. I'm a huge plant lover and collector, and just wanted to make it a light and easy place to sit, so that I wanted to sit here and chat with you guys, make it comfortable, you know? Hey, Lexi. I have a German Shepherd. Do you guys have dogs? I absolutely love dogs. I'm kind of obsessed with them, and they've called me Dogessa for a long time. So feel free to talk dogs with me anytime. And I've also done dog rescue for almost 15 years. So anybody who wants to talk dog rescue, hit me up. Oh, I have a new email address. It is recoveringfromscientology@gmail.com. If anybody would like to reach out. You're a plant mommy too. Yes. Plants are the best. And it's all about nurture and long-term and creating stability. So the things that I'm interested in as I get older are very reflective of the things that I value, I think. Like keeping a plant alive or having some babies. Lexi, do you want to say hi? Come here. Come here, baby. Come here, Lexi. No, I guess she. Come here, Lexi. All right, Bruno will say hi. This is Bruno Mars, my son. He was rescued from Compton, California. He was a street dog. And he's married to my other dog, Stella. He's my sweet boy. God, I love dogs, you guys. So lucky. I feel like we're so blessed to have animals. This world would be a lot harder without animals. So, you know, now that I've cried my eyes out on camera, Bruno Mars, that's his name. His name is Bruno Mars, see? And that's Alexis in the background barking because she said, Mom, what are you doing? You've been talking on the computer for so long. Oh my gosh, that is sweet. Thank you. He's beautiful. Thank you. Kathy says, I don't have any animals at the moment, but I have 2 patio kitties I feed, and my neighbor dog has trained, and I have cookies by my door. Yep, I'm sure my dogs would like to walk by your door. All right. I hope that we're able to catch up again soon. And thank you for coming by. Thank you for buying the memberships. Now that's going to inspire me to make some more videos. So I have 2 topics coming up planned. One is about some health stuff. The second has to do with an ongoing court case that I have been following, and it has ties to the Lisa McPherson case. So I have 2 episodes planned, and hopefully I can see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you so much for supporting, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. Lexi, come on, I'll take you out.